and then I send it out as an email for people who.
Yes, I'm so happy to see you all today, and I'm sure some other comadres are coming later. That's the way it is. So I would like to welcome Francine. And Francine, if you wish, you could maybe give us a quick introduction of who you are and what we are going to do today.
All right. So can everyone hear me? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. So I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me and inviting me to come over, Nadia. My name is Francine Fontana, and I am actually originally from Brazil, and I've been in the United States for about 22 years, 23 years in the Boston area. And I'll talk a little bit more about myself about my life during my presentation. But just really quickly, what I do now is I'm a transformational life coach, and what I work with women to help them create a life that they love living. You know, so many times we live life based on, we just get so stuck in our conditions that we have of our life, you know, our limitations, and that we forget to look beyond that, you know. And that's what I help women do, is kind of forget about, you know, your role as a mom, forget about your role as, you know, a wife, a daughter, a mom, and kind of think about like the person, you know, the essence of who you are, and what is, you know, what kind of life is seeking to emerge, you know, for you, and then kind of, you know, and then taking steps to create that life. So that's a little bit about, like, you know, the work that I do. And I can jump right into the presentation if that's all right with you guys. And just you know, so the presentation that I have about it is about, you know, creating a life that you love. And I share some tools that I use with my clients to kind of help them transform their lives, you know. And can do the presentation, and then if you guys have any questions, I can on a little bit more, you know, if it works for you guys, and we kind of can do a little bit interactive as well. So let me just see here, start screen, share screen. All right, so share with sound. Okay. Oops, let me start that. There you go. So can everyone see it okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so just pretty much, you know, it's like as I mentioned, it's just about creating a life that you love. And I'll give you guys 3, you know, keys to successfully create a life that you love. Let's see here. All right, so by the end of this class, this is what you guys will, you know, my intention for you guys is that to walk away from this talk kind of discovering a crystal clear vision for your life that you can use to move forward. Also, I'm going to give you guys 3 easy and practical tools that will help you creating results in any area of your life that you apply these tools to. And ultimately, you know, it's about feeling empowered to move forward, you know, your life with your dreams, with confidence and ease. And you know, and it's not about living life as if you're in a boat and the current is taking you, and it's about sort of like taking the reins and taking the oar, you know, of your own life and steering towards the direction that you want. And then my promise to you guys is that for the next hour, I'm going to share all this information with you guys and give you these tools. And if you are interested in, you know, taking this information and applying to your lives, I have a gift for you guys at the end. And I'm going to start by sharing this one video, and then we'll come back and kind of talk about it a little bit. So here's the video.
What if this light bulb was the cure to racism, sexism, and classism? Hear me out. Do you know what people and light bulbs have in common? We both express as different colors, have different shapes, different sizes. We're manufactured in different places. Some of us are bright, some dim, some clear, and some broken. We appear to be very different on the outside. But the thing about these lights is, there is one current running through each bulb. And in the same way, there is a singular energy running through each person on this planet. Doesn't matter what you look like, doesn't matter your race, gender, nationality, that's just the bulb. Inside of all that is who you really are. Energy. Don't believe your energy? Well, riddle me this. Say you have a friend named Jim, and you've been visiting Jim in the hospital until one day Jim unfortunately dies on the operating table. You say, oh no, Jim died. But his body is still there, his race, his gender. But you say Jim died? Because you know deep down that Jim was a lot more than his body. He was the intelligent energy that gave life to his body. Energy is what we are. And energy has no color. It is not Republican nor Democrat, white or black. Energy is not Christian, Muslim, or atheist. Energy is. We are intelligent, creative, universal energy. And if we understood that, then we would finally know what wise men and women have been trying to tell us since the dawn of time, that we are one.
There you go. So, I love using this video as an illustration, just kind of as to make a point. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, and we get so stuck in the conditions of our lives that we kind of lose perspective. And, from time to time in our lives, we have to take a step back. I said about the labor of mom and and daughter and wife and and employee and all of that we have to remember who we truly are inside of us. And so we are spiritual beings having a human experience in this world. And the universe is a spiral. It's been proven that the universe is a spiral, that it's always either expanding or expanding and growing, or it's dying. There's no, status quo ever. And the same energy, we see it, in nature. There's so many spirals represented in nature. And also that same energy is also in us. Our very DNA is a spiral. And so we do have the same, feeling for expansion. So there is always life seeking to emerge through us. That's why we always are desiring for more. We always have this desire to expand on our awareness of the world and of ourselves. And so, and the thing here is that as we do this, it's like watering your lawn. If you get a glass of water, when you throw in your lawn, you just, and I'm using the water as energy, right? So if you get a water and you throw it in the lawn, it's just going to scatter everywhere. And it's just not very efficient not a very efficient way to water the lawn. But instead, if you take a hose and you water your lawn, then you're kind of directing the water and that energy towards where you want it to go. So it's the same thing for our lives, as you can see in this picture of this river, kind of with the edges, of earth kind of containing it. So when you have a structure, or the hose, that is a form of structure. So when you have a structure to your energy and how you're applying your energy into your life, then you completely see different results than if you're dispersed and all over the place and just kind of going through the motions. So, and this fact is key, when we have that instruction of support around us, we can accomplish and get much further in our lives than we can, otherwise. And so, raise your hands for me. Is there an area of your life right now that you would love to improve? Okay, yeah. So, and this is what it is. Like, if you are alive, you have an area in your life that you would like to improve. And that's all of us. And and the thing is, ask yourself, have you ever achieved a dream or a goal that when you started this pursuit, that you had no idea how you were going to do it, but at the end you were able to do it, and sometimes you even surprise yourself right? As to like, oh my God, I can't believe, have you ever had something like that in your life? Yeah, I'm seeing some has nodding. Yeah. So, and this proves a very important point that, you are capable of far more than you know it. And sometimes we forget that power that we have. And this is the thing, our goals and our dreams are often born by the challenges that we face. So when you look at your life and you see an area that you're struggling with, so on one side there's a struggle, but then opposite to that there's desire for something else. And so when you look at your challenges, then that's the opportunity for growth. And life is challenging. We're always going to have them. But so the universe speaks to us through two growth signals. So one is the longing. So one of them is, looking at what is it that you wish you had more of in your life? What are you longing for? What are you longing to do, to accomplish, to be? And the other one is your discontent. Like I was saying, what areas of your life are you discontented with? What areas of your life you feel restriction? So when you look at these two signals, then you have an idea of like what is the life that's seeking to emerge, in your life through you. Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith said that we are often pushed by the pain until we are pulled by a vision. And that's what it is, because if you're stuck into this pain cycle of being discontent, you're going to stay there until you have the propulsion and the energy to say, okay, I've had enough of this. I'm going to, and I have a vision. And when you go through that, so you're often pushed by the pain until you're pulled by a vision. And then there are these two essential energies, the pain of your problems and the burning desire of what you want. They are essential for creating new results in your life. They kind of give you like the rocket boost that you need to get going. So I'd like to share with you guys a little bit about my story and kind of how I, came to be here. I mentioned that I'm from Brazil and I moved here, but I had a life that I used to work. I worked for 2 Fortune 500 companies. I had a corporate job in sales, and I was very successful. I made 6 figures, and I had a company car expense account. I was married. I owned a beautiful home, had a daughter, and my life was, from the outside, my life was beautiful. And at the time, I was so happy with my life. I kind of had, all the things that you have in check, meet someone, check, get married, check, buy the house, check, have a nice job, check. I had all of those checks, points filled out. So actually, hold on, let me kind of pause the share right here. And then, so I had all of these checkpoints kind of filled in my life. And, and one day something kind of changed for me. My daughter at the time, she was about 4 or 5 years old, and we were talking to some friends, and I don't know, a random conversation we were having with friends. And my daughter mentioned something out of the blue, and it had nothing to do with the conversation that was being said in the room. And then I thought about it, later in the day, I thought about why is it that she said. And I remembered it was a conversation that we had like 2 weeks prior. It was completely unrelated to what was going on that day. But she remembered a conversation we had 2 years before, 2 weeks before. And then that caused me to pause and think about, so this child, is growing up and she's observing everything that is going on in the world around her, right? So as a mom, I'm like, well, I knew what I wanted for her life, what I wished she would have in her life. And then I said, well, but if she's learning what she's observing, let me realize, what is she observing? And then I started thinking about my life, like from a critical point of view, as if like I'm my daughter looking at like, what is it that she's seeing? And I realized I had not noticed. So a long time had passed before I had noticed that I was very unhappy in my job. It was a job. It was as good as a job it was, professionally fulfilling and all of that. But I felt that every day I went to work, I had to check my soul at the door. I didn't think I could be myself for that job. And so I felt like a little robot, sort of repeating, every day's activities and things. And so I was kind of like dying every day I went to work. Instead of feeling expansion and happiness, it was just a contraction, and I felt like dying a little bit every day. And I didn't like my job. And my husband at the time also used to say that he really hated his job. So that was what my daughter was learning. When we come home from a job that we hate, we don't feel great, and our energy is down, and it takes a while to recover. And that's what my daughter was seeing. And then I started thinking about, okay, so how about what kind of relationship is she seeing, between me and my husband at the time? And then I realized that it was a relationship that was not supportive, and there was not really good communication, and it wasn't really um, any affection really in between in between us. And I thought that that's what she was observing, that's kind of how it was. And sometimes, when you're tired and you're kind of, talking ways that you're not very proud of, with each other. And that's what she was observing about life. And I don't know if you ever felt that way. Have you ever felt like disconnected from the people around you, or and even stuck in a situation that you're not happy with, but then you have no idea how you're gonna change the situation? That was me in my life back then. Like I had no idea how I could change it, because I thought like, well, I have this degree, this is the work experience that I have. How am I gonna find something else to do that I would love to do? And I was married, at that time I was like, no, I'm married for life. And how am I going to change this relationship? And so I felt really stuck. And, I think some of you guys probably have felt that way, even at some points, if it's not with the family, it's with your job, and there's always something, right? But then, when I realized, when I thought about my daughter and what it is that I would love for her to experience in her life, I wanted her to wake up every day with purpose. I wanted her to have a job that she loved. I wanted her to be in if she ever decided to be in a relationship, that she would be in a relationship with someone who loved her and cherished her and treated her with respect and kindness and love. And that was not what she was seeing at home. So at that time, I did the only thing I could to change my life, which was I started with myself. I started working on myself, and I did anything and everything that came my way, to I don't know, I was just kind of shooting everywhere and hoping something would stick. I started doing energy healing. I started going to Reiki sessions and, crystals and all of that. And I started doing, therapy, and I started working on my spiritual development and my self-development and finding, discovering more about myself. And this was a really long journey. It took me about 10 years to kind of unravel myself, and kind of get out of the situation that I was in. I did get a divorce and kind of moved my life forward. And, when I got to a place that I was so happy with my life, and I started realizing that people were still feeling, living their lives stuck and in situations that they were unhappy with. And, and that's kind of what it kind of led me to the job that I do today. My work in this my work in this world, to help women change their lives the way I did. And the thing is, like, it took me 10 years to change my life. And the clients that I help today, it's like this process is so much faster. When you have a proven system that is reliable and repeatable that you can apply to your life. So that is a little bit about myself and kind of how I get to be here and do what I do, and the pain that I went through, to discover myself and look at life from a completely different perspective, instead of feeling like I'm a passenger, in the movie of my life. Now I'm kind of like, I'm in the driving seat. So let me see, can you guys see the presentation, the slide? Because I think I paused it. Can you see? Okay, so we're gonna do a little exercise, and I think Nadia already saw this. So, but I'm gonna explain to you guys how it goes. So I'm gonna give you guys 30 seconds on the clock, and I'm gonna flip the page to the slide, And they're going to be 50 numbers, all scattered around the page from 0 to 50. And they're going to be kind of random. And let me see, there you go, 30 seconds. So what I'm inviting you guys to do to play along is find number 1 on the screen, and then find number 2, then I find number 3, and then read each number to yourself and count, as high as you can. See how many numbers can you find on the screen, right? So I'm gonna give you guys 30 seconds, and then we'll reconvene. So ready, set, go.
Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Time's up. All right, so I heard someone saying 8. Anyone got more than 10?
12.
12. Who else?
I got up to 9.
They were so
9.
tiny. I was like, what are they?
I know, and you're like, time is ticking. All right, so would you like to know the secret on how to be successful at this game? So I'm gonna give you guys a secret, all right? So that's what it is. So if you get so these are the numbers. If you divide these numbers in a horizontal line and a vertical line, now you have 4 quadrants. So look at the bottom 4, the bottom right quadrant. There's number 1 right there, circle, right? Everyone see that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so then on the left, on the bottom left quadrant, there's number 2.
3.
On the top right, left. Whoa,
3.
what happened?
I've
On
got
the
4.
3, and then 4 on the right, and then you go down again, you find 5, and then you go
And
to the
then
left, you find 6, 7,
7,
and 8.
8,
So
9.
you start by the left and go to the right, left, and then you go up, and then you go to the right, and then you go down. So that is the movement that you do. So it's like a clockwise movement. So now I'm going to give you guys, let's try this again. I'm going to give you guys, it's the same number, the same page, and I'm going to give you 30 seconds. And then now use this trick to see how high you can count, all right? So ready, set, and go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
9.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18,
Time's up.
19, 20.
Time's up. All right. I saw that Monica's daughter was.
Yeah, she's like, what is it? What is it?
I see the numbers. So I heard what, 16, 17?
I did 20.
20.
20.
Yeah, I did 20.
Awesome. So, did your count improve? Everyone did, right?
Of course, yes.
So what changed? So think about this way,
The tip,
We had a strategy.
I
It's
got it.
strategy.
you
Yeah.
had a strategy because the time was the same, the numbers were the same, everything was the same. You had a strategy. And so what it is, you had the pattern for success, right? So it's a pattern. So you had the pattern for success. And what happened was you had an increased awareness, right? On how to achieve results, better results. So that's what changed. The level of awareness that you had as to how to solve this problem. So it's the same thing with our lives. And so let me kind of move on to here. When you look at your lives, the way that I work with people is like, we look at lives, and what we want is, we don't want to have one area of our life that's awesome and then another area that is like not so good. What we're looking for is full spectrum wealth. There is a way that you can create results that you love in every single area of your life. And these are the areas. One is your health and your well-being. The other one is your vocation. And this can be how you get paid, but also it can be, you know, like it's a creative expression of yourself in this world as well. It's another way of looking at that. The other one is love and relationships. And then there is your time and your money freedom. And this is what, you know, like the freedom that you have to move around the world, you know, around your world, you know, your ability to do the things you love and be able to spend time with the people that you love. So those are the 4 quadrants of your life. And then ask yourself, looking at these 4 areas of your life, where it is that it's not working for you. You know, and there's usually one big area that we're discontented with, and sometimes it's like 2, and there's overlap, but there's usually 1 or 2 areas that we feel the strongest discontent with. So where is that it's not working for you? So, you know, like the same way that we looked at a increased level of awareness on how to get results on the game. Now let's look about our results formula, how it is that we get results in our lives. So this is how it is. Your thoughts cause your feelings, or your thoughts create your feelings. So you know this, you know, if you think happy thoughts, you feel happy. If you think about all the stuff that you have to do in the day and how little time you have to do them, you're going to feel stressed. So your thoughts create your feelings. Your feelings create your actions. So when you feel motivated and energized, you're going to take action that's powerful and focused. When you feel depressed, you're going to take actions that are completely different way, right? You're going to move slower, and you're not going to take, you know, bold steps when you're depressed. And so, and your actions cause your results. You know, obviously, if you take bold steps, you're going to have bigger results. If you don't take any action, nothing really is going to change in your life. But then, you know, we look at the results that we have in our life, and then we look at the causes for those results. But we are almost too smart to say that these are the causes. That's why we say the B cause. So we say, you know, I make this money that I make because, you know, these are my qualifications for jobs. You know, I cannot go on vacation this year because I don't have the time, or because I don't have the money, you know, or I would love to find true love, but I can't because I'm too old, or, you know, too thin, or too fat, or too this or too that. Or I would love to start a new business, but I can't because of COVID. So we look at all the conditions and the circumstances in our lives, and we say, I would love to do this, but I can't because. We justify our results with the circumstances that we have in our lives. But this is the thing, and this is so important, but the true cause of your results is here. It's your thinking. And so if you want to know what you have been thinking, just look at your results, because your results never lie. And that is for each quadrant of your life. So look at your love and relationship. Your current result in that area is a direct result to your thinking in that area, to the limiting beliefs that you have about yourself, about how the world is. And so that is the true cause of our results, our thoughts. And this is the thing, you know, the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your thinking. You know, so and actually, guys, I usually do this for bigger rooms, but like, you know, so and you can say it, or you can just type in the chat, you know, would you like to quickly and easily transform these results that you have in your life?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, we always want to improve. So yes, we would love to resolve. So this takes me to key number 1 that I'm going to give you guys today, that I use with my clients. The key number 1 here is to design a dream. You know, just like there's a picture of a blueprint here. When you want to build a house, And think about the picture with the structure. And this is what this is about too. So this is where putting the structure in the water to kind of canalize your energy, right, towards your goal. But in order to go somewhere, you need to know where it is that you're going. And so when you want to build a house, you don't go to the builder and you say, build me a beautiful house, build me a spacious house, build me a comfortable house. That's not how you do it, right? You have to be specific about that. So you have to say, build me a house with 3 bedrooms, this many number of bedrooms. This is what I would like the kitchen to look like. You have to be specific about it. So it's the same thing that, the same rules that you apply towards building a house, it is how you apply to building your dream. And so you have to ask yourself what it is that you really, really want in your life. And write this down if you have a piece of paper. Clarity is power. So it's like the example I was using. You have to know specifically, exactly, thinking about all the details that you would need to know when you're building a house. Those are the details that you need to know when creating a vision for your life that you would love to have. And so thinking about your 4 quadrants of your life, right? So your health and your well-being, your vocation, your love and relationships, and your time and money freedom. Ask yourself, what would I love in each one of those areas? So love and relationship, what would I love to have in my area, in that area of my life? Health and well-being, what kind of love, and it's like, okay, I'd like to be disease-free. That's a limited way of looking at it. It's like, I would love to have vibrant health, that I wake up every day feeling energized and ready for my day, and I feel good in my body, and I can move and do and accomplish anything that I want physically. And the same thing, you repeat that process for every single area of your life. And so we're going to take, let's do a little writing exercise here. And this is what we're going to do. So think about, actually, let me go back here. Think about these 4 quadrants of your life. For the interest of time, let's focus on one area. So look at health and well-being, vocation, love and relationship, and time and money freedom. Right now, where do you feel the most discontent with? In which area it is for you that you're mostly dissatisfied with? Do you have that? Can you pick one area that you feel, you don't have to speak it up, just kind of nod to make sure we're on the same page here. So yeah, so pick one area that you would like the most change with, that you're most dissatisfied with. So pick that one area. And for this purpose right now, just let's focus on this one area. So pick this area that you're mostly dissatisfied with. And then we're gonna do a little journaling. I'm gonna give you guys 2 minutes, but this is the parameter that I'm gonna give you guys. When you're writing a vision for what it is that you would love to have in your life, this is how you do it. So you think about it's 3 years from now. So we're in the year of 2024. And imagine I'm giving you guys right now a magic wand. And then you can have and be and do and accomplish anything you want. Everything. And it's like you cannot fail and everything is going right. There's no failing. Everything that you want is going to happen. So what is it that you would love to have in that area of your life? So that is the question. And right now, the temptation is to think about, I would love this, but how would I bring that about? I have no idea. And right now, for this part of the exercise, we put the how on hold. We're not focusing on the how you would do it. You're just focusing on the what would I love. And then you also have to infuse that with gratitude. So you put it on the top of your page. I am so happy and grateful now that. And then you write down everything that you see for yourself in that area of your life. And you're going to write it in the present moment as if it's happening right now. So I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes just to journal. What comes up for you with that? So start now. 30 seconds left. All right, time's up. All right, so, and this is just a beginning point, and so what my invitation to you guys is to, after this workshop or tomorrow, take some time aside and look at each quadrant of your life and ask yourself, what would I love? And then write a statement, and it can be several pages, you can bullet point it. There's no really, a specific format, but the point here is to think about what you would love to have 3 years from now. If anything is possible, magic wand, and with gratitude, I'm so happy and grateful now that, and you make all these statements in the present tense as if it's happening now. And then you can journal that for each one of your 4 areas of your life. So that is my encouragement to you to do that. And then let's take a look at this. Would anyone like to read this? Who would volunteer? No one?
I'll do it.
All right, go ahead.
Research and Stanford University, it doesn't matter what order the letters in a word are. The only important thing is that the first and last letter be in the right place. This is because the human mind does not read every letter by itself, but the word as a whole.
Yes, isn't that amazing? So, so this is the thing, our brain works like that. So knowing this is where we apply towards, creating a vision for our life. Our brain needs to have the starting point. The starting point for, in this case, is where are you in your life right now? What results are you having for your life right now in every area of your life? And then that's the first letter of the word, right? And then what is the last letter of the word is where you want to go. It's the vision that you want for your life. So your brain, in order to move forward, your brain needs to have those parameters, where you are and where the crystal clear image for where you would love to be. So that is why I'm encouraging you guys to really take the time to write that statement of what you would love to have your life look like in 3 years. And this takes us to the second key here, which is once you have a crystal clear vision for your life, this is the second step, is deciding for your dream. So when you know the what it is that you want, you have to make a decision for your dream. And this is a quote by Bob Proctor. It says that there is a single mental move you can make, which in a millisecond will solve enormous problems for you. It has the potential to improve almost any personal or business situation you will ever encounter. And it could literally propel you down the path to incredible success. And we have a name for this magic mental activity. It's called decision. Because you can think about everything that you want. If you don't make a decision to go for your dream, it's not going to happen. And this is the thing, this is an interesting story to illustrate this point. So there's a man who went to the bank and he brought a check with him that he needed to cash. So he went to the teller, he gave the teller his check and he said, please, I would like to cash this check. The teller picked up the check. She read it and she's like, okay, everything looks good. So she returned the check to him and she said, sir, please sign your name to the back of the check and then I will be glad to cash your check. And the man was like, oh no, I don't want to write my name on the back of the check first. First, give me the money, then I will sign the name to the check. And the teller said, I'm sorry, sir, I cannot do this. First, you have to sign it, then I can give you the money. And they went back and forth. The guy did not want to sign his name to the back of the check. And he said, well, I'm not really comfortable doing this because if I give you my check with my name on the back of the check, you might decide to not give me my cash. Then you would have my check with my name on it, and I'm not going to have my money. And the teller laughed and she said, no, sir, it's banking policy. If you give me the check with your name on the back, with the signature on the back, I will cash your check and give you the money. And he's like, oh no, I'm not doing that. So he took his check and he walked out of the bank. Then he went to a bank on the other side of the road. And he went in there, asked the teller to cash his check, and they had the same interaction. He would not sign his name to the back of the check. He had the same interaction. They couldn't give him his money there either. Then he picks up his check and he goes yet to a third bank. And he had the same interaction. Will you please cash my check? Well, great. Just sign your name to the back of the check and I will give you your money. No, I don't want to do that because then you're going to have my check with my name on it. And might decide to not give me my money. I can't do that. And that conversation went on for a while, but this time there was a young teller. So he reached under his desk and he got a rubber bat and he hit the guy with his rubber bat on the head. The guy got stirred up and he's like, just sign the darn check. So the guy got all stirred up. He's like, okay, signed his check, gave it back to the teller. The teller then gave him his money. And the guy was all happy. So cash in hand, he walks back to the first bank, the first teller, and he said, oh, hey, see, I was able to cash my check at the bank down the road. And the teller laughed and she said, yes, sir, I see that. But I bet that even at the bank at the end of the road, you still had to sign your name to the back of the check, didn't you? And the guy was like, well, you know what? Yeah, I did. But you know what? No one ever explained it to me like they did. So this is a silly story, but it's, in a way, it's a story about my life. And in a very real way, it's the story about your life as well. We go through life and we say, and this is like the teller is the teller of life, right? Like the universe. Or God, or whatever you want to name it that resonates with you, and we go to God or we go to the universe and we say, I would love to have this life, and what the universe is okay, so you sign your name to the back of the check and then you can have it, and that means, what it is that you want, become that person, the I am, right? I am this person that does this. So become that person now. And then you can have what you want. But that's not how we operate. We operate like, oh no, first I'm going to wait for COVID to end. Then I'm going to be able to, start that business, or I'm going to look for the new job, or we say, first I'm going to wait to have the money. Then I'm going to, I don't know, start the garden that I want to start, or go on the vacation that I want to go. Or, I don't know, visit my grandmother, whatever it is for you,
Sell my house.
Yeah, something else. Or like, first I need to lose the weight, then I can meet the perfect person for me, or first I'm going to get really healthy and fit. Then I'll be able to, to really exercise. That's usually, so we look at all these conditions and we say, first we expect the condition to change. And then we say we're going to do the things that we want to do. But that's not how the universe works. The universe requires that, like if you want to be that successful person who has that successful job or whatever it is for you, then you have to become that person. How does that successful person act? What does that successful person do? How do they operate during the day? You need to become that first. And then you can have that. If you want to find the love of your life, you can expect them to complete you with everything that you want. So first you want to become the person you want to date, in a way of like, what characteristics do you have? I want to find someone loving. Well, how loving are you towards other people? So first you have to become that, and then you can have what it is that you want. So it's always a way of like how you think about it. And so, and then in order for you to be that, you have to make a decision. And let's see how we're doing on time. I think I I have a quick story, about a client, but I'm going to skip that because the whole point is that here is that you have to decide. And sometimes you don't have evidence that what you want is going to be here, but absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. So you need to trust and be, like I was saying, become what it is that you want in your life. And then you can have those things, like if you're waiting to be fit to then really exercise, you're not going to be there ever. So you need to make a decision. And in order to make a decision, you have to change your paradigms, the beliefs that you have that were learned from childhood, that were learned from your family, from society. The beliefs that we have about ourselves or not deserving or not being the person who can do this, or in all of this programming that we have in our minds, we have to make a decision despite of those. And then the other part to that is make a decision, but it's taking the steps. Like I said in the beginning, unless you're taking action and taking steps towards your dream, you're not going to happen. It's just going to be a wish. And everyone has a wish and everyone has a dream. The question is, are you a dream builder? Are you the person who is saying right now, I've had enough of this result in my life and I'm doing something about this, or you can just be entertained by, reading a self-help book or listening to talk like this, kind of thinking about it, getting motivated, and then not doing anything about it. So that's what you must decide. And that takes us to the key number 3 here, which is befriending your fear. When you make the choice to go for your dream and you're saying, okay, I am this person doing this. I don't care what it takes. I know I can do this because we all can do this, right? I am taking my dream. So it's not a matter of when, but not a matter of if fear is going to come up. It's a matter of when. And this is the thing. So when we make that choice, I am doing this. This is what happens. On one hand, we go, yes, I am the person who's doing this. Heck yes, I am going to accomplish this. And then on the other side, immediately after that is the, what if I fail? Right? That's that fear of failing that we get so programmed with, right? And this is the thing. We need to befriend our fear because fear is going to come along the journey with us. And, think about when you were a little kid, this little boy on the screen learning how to walk, right? When we were there, when we were the little kid learning how to walk, we saw everyone around us being walkers, like mom, dad, grandpa, grandma. Everyone was a walker in our lives, and we were not. We were crawling. And then we decided to go and try this walking thing. And we tried to get up and take a step, and then we fell. And then we got up, and then we tried a wobbly legs, and then we fell again. But then we kept trying. No one ever said, after trying and trying and failing and failing and failing, no one said, hey, maybe I just wasn't meant to be a walker. After all, I'm just going to stay here. No one ever said that. We kept trying until we did it, and we all did it, right? So this is the thing. Fear is going to come along with us because great dream builders, people who are out there living their dreams and dreaming big and going for that and accomplishing wonderful things for themselves, for their families, for society, they are willing to fail and rise again. It's like the falling and learning how to walk. You're going to fall, you're going to get up again. And that's how it is for everyone. And even let's look at some examples of this. Oprah Winfrey. She was fired by TV executives because she was not fit for TV. Imagine that. Steven Spielberg, he was rejected from USC Film School 3 times. J.K. Rowling, her first Harry Potter novel was rejected from publishing houses. What was it? Was it 3 times? Let's see. I missed that one. Ah,
She was actually homeless too when she wrote the
when
first
she wrote
novel.
the book, the novel, right? Yeah, from
Yeah,
12.
she was homeless.
Yeah, so 12 publishing houses. Imagine being homeless and trying to write it, and then 12 rejections, and she kept going. And it was the 13th was the lucky one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine
Mm-hmm.
if she had given up at number 5 or 3, Bruce Springsteen, he was fired from his first band and he was told that he couldn't sing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then Henry Ford, he failed at 3 different businesses before starting Ford Motor Company at age 53. And I love this one because this illustrates the point that it is never too late. We are alive, and it's never too late
As
until
long
you
as we're alive.
take your last nap, as they say, right? It's never too late. And so, and this is the thing, as we going for our dream, fear and failure are prerequisites for achieving great dreams. Go hand in hand. There's no such thing as reaching success without ever having a failure. It's all how you perceive it, and it's just how you perceive fear. You can see failure, excuse me. You can see failure as a stop sign. Don't go there. This is impossible. Or you can see it as a qualifier, as a, hey, not this way. It's all feedback. And this is the thing. When fear arises, because it's going to, what can you do? And this is a tip that is invaluable. You reconnect to your dream. Because our monkey brain starts going, fear this, fear that, I'm gonna fail. What do? You take a deep breath. When you realize you're doing, you take a deep breath, and then you shift your focus back into your dream. And then this is what you do. Then you ask yourself, what is the one thing I can do today? What is the one action I can take that will move me in the direction of my dream? And then you take that step. And the universe likes speed. So the faster you take that step, the better.
Yes.
So it's not like I'll do this next month. It's not like I'll do this next week. It's like you do now. And even if it's something that you can do now, I'm sure you can schedule you can put it in your schedule, something to do tomorrow. So what is the one thing that I can do today? And sometimes can be simple things, but what is the one thing? And then taking that step. So so let's talk about what we covered right now. Just a quick recap. The 3 tools are: one is to designing your dream, having a crystal clear vision of what it is that you want in all the 4 quadrants of your life, having a crystal clear vision for that and with details. The second one is, once you have that, then you make a decision to go for your dream. And then the third one, fear is going to come up, and just know that when fear comes up, it's just going to come along for the ride. And fear is a good thing, because you know what it means? It means you're doing something you've never done before. If you stay in your comfort zone, you're not going to have fear. It's going to be okay. It's fine, because that's what you're used to. That's your, your comfort zone. So when you step out of your comfort zone, just know fear is going to come along, and it's okay. And so I have a free gift for you, as I mentioned in the beginning of the talk. So, if you like this information and it resonates with you, and if this was just entertaining, and you got a few things out of it, and you're not really ready to take steps forward your life, and you're happy with the way things are, and you don't have enough energy to want to move this forward, then it is okay, because we all are the the masters of our own lives, and we all are the ones that make our decisions for ourselves. So that is okay. But if you want to take this information and you have the impulse and the desire to want to take steps forward, this is where my gift comes in. I'm gifting you guys a complimentary 101 visioning session with me. So that is a 101 call with me. It's an hour call that we take, and this is part of the process that I do with my own clients. That I help and guide you guys towards, looking at a crystal clear vision, image of where you are in your life. What is it that it's actually going on right now that you're not happy with? And then we create a crystal clear vision for what it is that you would love to have in your life. And then we talk about steps that you can take that can help you move towards that. And so, that is valued at $250 session. And I'm giving to you guys as a gift because I believe in people, and I believe, like Oprah Winfrey and oh my God, Steven Spielberg, all of those guys, they accomplished awesome things in our lives, but they're not special. They're not, they're just like you and I. And they had a dream and they went for it, but we are capable of accomplishing our own dreams. And this is what I believe as well, that we are all unique individuals. Even our fingerprints are unique. There's there are 7 billion people in this world, and no one has your fingerprint. And this life that is seeking to emerge through the desires that you have and the dreams that you have for your life, when you don't reach your full potential, like you're all meant to have an impact in the world. And when we don't reach our full potential, there's almost a lack, that full expression of yourself is never going to materialize itself in this world. So that is like my belief. And that is like one of the reasons why I do this work, because, I love helping people kind of get there. And, and then if you decide to work with me, then that's great. But if not, like this session is just so good to help, gain clarity about your life and, take a time to assess. More people spend time planning their vacation than they spend in a 1 hour presentation like this, really thinking about their lives and their goals and their dreams for their lives. So in a way, I applaud you guys for being here and for taking the interest in looking at your life in a different way. And so if you're interested, just send it. This is my number. So 508-868-8692. And you can send me a quick text message just saying, hi, this is, and just put your first name and your last name and just say, I would love a session. And then I will get in touch with you guys to schedule a session. Let's see.
Can you put it in the chat?
Oh yeah, I can do that. Hold on. Let me see. Chat. Yeah, so 508-868-8692. And then I'll put my email as well, Francine at fontanacoaching.com. Email works too, but there you go. So just final thoughts. You are powerful beyond words, beyond measure. And like I said, we all have our unique fingerprint, and we all have this desire, and we have the power inside us to do and be and accomplish anything we want. We just sometimes need the numbers game. Sometimes we just need the increased level of awareness on how to get there, but we have the power to do that within us. And I know that you have an amazing dream. We all do. And our dreams are all unique to us. And you have this life kind of seeking to emerge itself through you. And and I want you to know that you can do this. You can have your dreams come true, and you can accomplish the things that you want to have. And everyone deserves, and you deserve to live a life that you love living, because everyone does. So I think we're kind of good on time. I ran up like 4 minutes, so I apologize for that. I don't know. I can stay a little bit longer if you guys have any questions. If not, then I hope you guys enjoyed the presentation. It was a pleasure, being here with you guys tonight.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you so much.
You're welcome. My pleasure. All right. So do you guys have any questions?
All right. All right. Let's see if someone, I love that I saw Elena paying so much attention. She was paying attention. She was listening. Quite interesting. So anyone that have any question or anything would like to share, maybe about the experience of writing, maybe? I don't know. Would you like to stop sharing the screen so we can see each other's faces, Francine?
Yeah, I think I did. Did I? I think I did. I stopped the sharing.
No. Okay, so let me see gallery view. Perfect, we got it. Maria, adelante.
Hi, Francine. Your presentation was very enlightening, very, you know, made me really go and go. My question is this: how long, when you said that you're a transformational coach, right? How long do you usually coach someone that they achieve? You know, you help them achieve up to their dream, or they're on their way, or how do you usually do it? Do you do it in a time span, or is just as long as this person takes?
Yeah, so I thank you so much for your comment. And like transformation is different because it's every person is in a different place in their lives. Everyone has their beliefs, and sometimes people are really attached to their beliefs, and some people are willing to let go faster. So it's case by case. The way that I work is I work with it's a proven system of transformation. My mentor has done this work for over 40 years, and it's like all tools and techniques that kind of like when you put them together, they kind of give you like a step-by-step guide on how to do this. And so I work with a few programs. One of them is called the Dream Builder, and it's like that program is like a 3-month program that you work on these steps to kind of develop the dream and take steps to get there. And it's amazing because it's also I have clients that go through the program once, and then after they're done, they actually want to go back and take it again. Because if you think about it, in 3 months, you're gonna improve your life and you're gonna see life in a different way. But it's like your life is not gonna be a 360-degree turn, right? Because every time we go through these, our level of awareness increases. So I work with people for these 3 months, and then I also have other coaching programs that I work with clients that go through like a year program. And then that one starts with the 3-month Dream Builder program. And then I have a 6 months program that's called Life Mastery. And then this Life Mastery program, it's amazing because it talks about, then it's like breaking down, mental faculties. So it's about working with your intuition, right? Working with your will, and it talks about your health. So it kind of it works in different areas of your life, areas of mastery in your life. And so and then I have clients that go, this is my 2nd year that I've been doing this in practice. So I have people that have gone already once and they're kind of going a second route again. And this is the thing, like transformation never really ends. Like I have been doing my own personal work for 10 years, and I'm still a student of this. I'm still, every time I take a client through the program, I pick up different levels of awareness. So ultimately, when I talk to people when they're interested in coaching programs, it's just a matter of exactly what the person is looking for and what they want to get out of. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you. How does it differ from, let's say, because there's so many life coaches out there now.
Mm-hmm.
How does it differ? Do you know how it differs from, let's say, a life coach?
Yeah. So what I do is I'm a transformational life coach. What it means, like sometimes life coach is just very practical about take this step, take that step, work on your mindset. And I do mindset work and rewriting history and all of that, in terms of reprogramming your brain. But this is also about like, it's more for people who believe like you have to have a spiritual awareness. Because if you think that you live this life and the day that you die, that's the end, and that you are your body and then you die and that's the end, then coaching, like a transformational life coaching program, is not for you. And that's the reason, like that's one of the reasons why I like showing the first video about, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Because part of the key to transformational coaching is believing that there is a higher power inside of you. You know, when you connect to the higher power inside of you, you can accomplish anything and everything you want, which is different. Like a lot of these, other coaches that I see like out there, they are just very ego based. It's all about the house, it's all about the money. It's which in a way for me it's true, but for me it's just a lot more than that. It's about the person you become along the way. And that's why having the spiritual awareness is important when doing transformational life coach, because it's not just about the ego, about like, oh, I want to be famous, or oh, I want to be, I want to have this much money. It's about reaching and getting those things, but it's about, like I said, the person you become, and the richness, not just in terms of dollars, but in experiences, in connections, with family members and friends and people around you. Does that help?
Yes. Yeah, because it's true. I've talked with life coaches, and it's true. They concentrate a lot on mindset. Everything is mindset, and I'm very spiritual too. So it's like it detaches me from that. So I always have problems with that.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting that you say that, because for me, like I mentioned, like I went through this like 10-year journey of self-discovery. And for me, that was all. I did therapy and stuff like that too. But for me, it was like a lot of spiritual growth. And this is what I figured out. I reached a point where I felt like a person. I was so much more connected with myself, with the essence of who I am that I had ever been, and listening to like my true guidance as to like what it is that I wanted for my life. And I did a lot of like self-help books and all of that. But this is what happened. Ultimately, that changed my internal landscape, like how I perceived the world and how I, interacted with people. And I was just such a much better person. But the results that I had in my life were not the same. Like the results were still the same. I still felt stuck. I still felt like I wasn't really fulfilling my purpose, and so that was a little bit disconnected. And I remembered from my corporate days that, people who are not into spiritual side and self development, but they were into goals and results. And those people were the go-getters. Those are the people who get the results and get the raise and get the better job, and have the better results in their lives. But that always kind of triggered me, like there's got to be a way for you to do both, for you to have the results that you want to have in your life, but also be that person who is better, who is working on developing herself. So, and that's what I like, like ultimately, sometimes, like say the curve, you go through a curved path and you end up exactly where you're supposed to be, because that kind of like, that's where the transformational coaching kind of comes together, because it is about reaching the desired outcome in your life, but then you're also becoming, it works together. You become that person. So there is a way to work on yourself and still get the results.
Thank you.
You're welcome. How about you, Lizetti? I saw you writing and writing.
I mean, it
All
really
right.
Suffering of courage, ages, sickness, and death.
I can't hear a thing.
Who said that?
I'm not sure if you can hear me. It really resonated with me when you were saying that you did therapy, you did Reiki, because that's like on the journey that I'm on. I just started therapy and I'm doing Reiki sessions all the time. So I'm really working on my energy and my spiritual side. And then you mentioned, creating a blueprint for our lives and writing a gratitude list in the present, but for the future. Are there any other like daily activities or anything you recommend that we can do to help us take that action?
Yes. So
Here.
there are a couple of things that kind of jump into my mind right now. One is like you're talking about gratitude. I started this practice a few months ago, and it's so powerful it's working with gratitude. And like your day actually starts the night
I see a
before.
thing. something.
So like what you do at night is so important for your next day. People say, oh, get ready in the morning and write your to-dos for the day. You'll actually do stuff the night before. And this is what I started doing. So it's a gratitude practice where you get your journal and you write down, just kind of like think about your day, about your life that day, right? And write down 5 gratitudes, at least 5. You can list more, but at least 5 gratitudes. And then you do that every single night. But the trick here is try not to repeat.
Mhm.
Because it's so easy to say, oh, I'm grateful for my health, I'm grateful for my house, I'm grateful for my daughter, but and you can be, so it's about being specific, but also about not repeating. And you can write, like today I'm grateful for my daughter's attitude, she's a teenager, or today I'm grateful for, my daughter's health, or today I'm grateful for, it can be simple, like as, the sun shining and the warmer day. I'm grateful for my comfortable bed, whatever it is for you that kind of gives you that feeling of gratitude. And so you write at least 5 things at night. And then when you wake up in the morning, do not put your foot on the floor until you kind of think about your gratitudes that you wrote the night before. So this will kind of give you a increased sense of gratitude in your life. And then just think about, and then the other step to that is like you think about your gratitudes in the morning, and then think about, people write their to-do list, but think about for you today, what is your to-be list?
Oh, I like that.
So who is the person that you want to be today? And then be that person that day. And sometimes can be, today I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be, sometimes, with COVID, we're going home and the kids at school, and you're like, today I'm going to be extra patient, and then go through your day. And, when you're going to slip, this is not about being perfect. It's about just doing the best you can. It's like about massive imperfect action. So, and just think about the person you want to be today. And at the end of the day, if you're, and then you can analyze it, you can say, okay, my to-be list, my to-be thing today was being patient. And then just reflect a little bit. Was I patient today? And then you kind of just notice patterns. And it's not about beating yourself up, but it's just about, your own personal growth and observing, like and that what that does, it helps raise your level of awareness of how you're operating, every day. Oh, and then I have something too, because for abundance, this is something that I started doing. There's a book called The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace T. Wattles. And there is a challenge. Let me see if I have the pages here. I do. So there's a challenge that it's a super quick book, like the big letters. It's super easy to read. So this book, so it's called The Science of Getting Rich, but it's not about getting rich, just rich in terms of like money, which it is, but it's in terms of rich in terms of like all areas of your life, just being rich in terms of being more abundant, right? And so the challenge with this book is you read the book one time, and it's a super quick read. And then for 90 days, you read chapters 4, 7, 11, and 14. Just those chapters. Once you read the book once and you get what they're talking about, what he's talking about, then you read every single chapter 4, 7, 11, and 14 for 90 days. And if you, during the 90 days, if you skip a day, then you start counting at 1 again. So 90 consecutive days of reading the 4 chapters. I'm still doing it. I have gone back a couple times.
Okay, I'm a little confused. You're saying read the book once over, and then go back, and for 90 days you read those 4 chapters for 90 days.
Yeah, every day you read chapter 4, 7, 11, 14. Next day, 4, 7, 11,
So you
14.
read those same chapters every day for 90 days.
Yes, and if you skip one or one day and you didn't read it, then you go back to day 1.
Ah, okay.
So let's say you did it for 2 weeks, and then one day you got extra busy, you didn't do it. So
Then you have
the
to start over
next
again.
day is day 1 again.
That's interesting. What is that supposed to achieve?
I was just gonna ask that.
Well, so this is about, like I said, it's the science of getting rich, but it's really more abundance, right? Thinking more abundantly. And
Abundance.
what this does, because it's all about reprogramming your brain. And so when you read it, so 90 days is just like you're creating a new pattern. And by doing this, you're creating a new pattern of thinking that is more abundant in your life by the repetition.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, it just helps create, like higher levels of awareness and more expanded thinking when you're thinking about abundance, and it's about money, but it's not just about money. It's about how you operate in the day, about being a person of increase, and it's really interesting. It's a quick read. And that's why too, like when you read the book, he talks about money, but it just think beyond money. Some of the stuff, I think it was written in 1920s, I think. Some of his descriptions are kind of dated because I kind of thinks of 1920, 1930, but you just kind of extrapolate, right? And think about in terms of abundance. And because he talks about some jobs, the jobs are different now than they were back then, the way of operating, but it's like the essence of how good it is still in here. And it's about, like I said, about the repetition, the 90 days, and rewiring your brain and increase your level of thinking.
Cool.
So let me know how it goes.
All right. So, ladies, did you all get Francine's contact information?
Yes.
Yes.
I know Jody did. She just left, but I know she took it. So we all have it. So we're about to close. Is there anything, Francine, you would like to add to end it today?
No, that's it. I want to thank you for inviting me to come over. This was a lot of fun. Thank you for the opportunity. That's like one of my favorite things to do, to reach out to people and teach, information that I love. So.
Well, I'm glad you were able to come, and I invited you because I believe that we all need a little bit of guidance when we want to get something, because we don't learn anywhere how we do it. No one teaches you in the school. No one teaches you nowhere. So, people like Francine can help us guide us and steer us in the direction we want. So anyway, with that, we would like to close. I think Maria has only Maria can do it. Maria, are you there? Maria? Nope. Oh, well. How are we going to close the room?
Crocheting.
She's probably, because simultaneously we have a crochet club.
So you probably went to crochet class. That's awesome. You guys do that.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it. I've been meaning to join them, but I will have to start from zero. I don't even how do you call that?
Oh, the needle. I think they call it a needle or something.
The needle. The good news is that I went to a $1 store, which I recommend. You can find so many wonderful things for $1, and they sell two. So you can get 2 different needles for $1. So
the different sizes, right? Like the thinner. That's good. Yeah.
In case that I don't like it.
Here.
Oh, Maria, I was just wondering, because we were just saying goodbye. So in order to close the room, only you can do it because you are